Hi all, this is Ashish Kyal here. Welcome again to Elliott Wave News channel by Ashish Kyal Trading Gurukul, a learning series by wavestrategy.com. And I'm sure if you have been with me in my last webinar at 4 p.m., which I do every Friday at 4, I very clearly talked that next 2 days will set the tone for the entire month. And if I have to ask, how many of you remember I said that the time cycles are going to be reversing on the upside and we might start seeing a positive trend? We in fact also we in fact also talked and took a poll on Saturday. There was a free webinar on how to trade using Elliott Wave. On Saturday, we took a poll. There were we were houseful. There were 500 attendees who participated in that poll, and it was simply superb. I mean, people enjoyed so much polling. I never realized that because we had 50-50% talking that the markets will be in the up move and 50% talk that the markets will be in the down move. In fact, you will not believe that the number of participants who were there in the polling, that was nearly I think nearly 240 who said the markets will go down and nearly 239 who said the markets will go up. So we were exactly at the tie, and it was like a classic doji that we formed on last Saturday when we took the poll of where do you think Nifty is headed, and that doji coincided with the doji seen on the Friday movement. And then many of the participants, if you had attended, asked me that what is my view, as that is going to be the deciding factor on what we expect markets to do. And I said I think markets is going to form a low, and if the level of 9110 9180 gets broken on the upside, then we are heading much higher. In fact, I shared across my views based on cycle analysis, time forecasting, and also based on neo wave patterns that I look at, and it worked out so fabulously well. It does not happen that often that we get such high accuracy and predictive environment, which we got on last from in this week. And many, I even mentioned, many will be in for a shock if not surprise. Suddenly what happened, what changed in the markets? If you look at the markets, we have the worst of the news possible that can come out in this week. You can you name it for me? What all things is ongoing apart from COVID that we are seeing right now, apart from the pandemic, which has no relief in India? India is now at the 8th place in COVID all over the world, which has no relief. We have a locust swarm issue which has come out. Absolutely, we have cyclone Amphan. Absolutely, we have India China standoff happening, banks more moratorium, US Hong Kong issues. You name it and you have that as an event. And still many people believe that the events move the market. I ask you, if events move the market, why the hell Nifty rallied from the lows of 9,000, now touching what, 9,600? That's a 500 to 600 points of the up move that we saw in such short span of time. Now that's like a classic move that we are seeing on the Nifty, and I think it's going to be enormous. So let me check the Nifty levels again if I'm reading it correctly on my chart. Yes, it is 9,600, because until 2 days back when I was checking out the chart, I was able to see 9,300. Now suddenly the move has been so sharp and fast that I need to ensure I am not speaking wrong levels. There are huge number of attendees right now, so that's the thing. And if you look at, if all of these events that we saw did not result into a downtick on the market, then what will? So if you have been listening me for quite some time now, I'll tell you the problem that a trader faces is to change the stand. I am the guy, I will not hesitate to change my stand in a fraction of a second. I will turn from bearish to bullish in another fraction of second if my chart suggests. Many of you who had probably heard me talking about bearish view way back in March are still holding to that bearish view. I say markets keep changing based on the cycles. In fact, the problem is you only listen and understand the portions that you want to be biased on. For example, I talked about Nifty might break and continue to go down in the form of wave C only if we happen to correct until 25th of May. I'm sure many of you will agree that by 25th of May, I have been always vocal that whatever correction has to happen prior to the 25th of May or prior to the last week of May. The reason being, time cycles are reversing or time forecasting dates change post 25th of May. And if that's going to happen, I will change my stand from bearish to bullish. So we indeed moved down. If you look at it, we indeed correct from where 9,700 levels, 9,800. Can you tell me what was the high prior to this current up move? 9,860 or 880, right? That was the high. 9,884 for Prashant. Brilliant. So that was the high that we made. From 9,8870, we went to 8,800. That's a 1,000 point correction, and you still say that no, it should have broken below 7,500. Now that is our expectation. Now whether markets will go there or not, we have to keep evaluating, looking at the every new price action that we get. Are you with me? 1,000 point correction and you still creep that the markets have not fallen. What kind of a trader are you? What are you expecting to be a 5,000 point correction in just 1 month or what? So what I'm trying to say is, if the cycle turns positive, I turn positive. If the cycles are bearish, I turn bearish. Last week itself, I said that I am going to change my stand from bearish to bullish. And here I am in front of you from 9,000. I think Nifty was last Friday when we were talking. Nifty was around that 900 or 9,000 odd levels. And from there, we have already seen 600 points of up move. But if you stick with your view way back in months, way back or weeks back, you need to change your stand with the markets, and there is nothing wrong about it. There is This is the name of the game. If tomorrow Nifty goes down with a gap down of 500 points or 300 points, do you still think that I'll talk bullish? If Or do you still think that you should carry a bullish view even if the markets are down by 500 points from tomorrow onward? Do you think that you should be bullish then, or you should change your stand? I need an answer. Let's make it interactive. We have a fabulous participants right now. Don't you think if tomorrow we go down by 300 points on Nifty, which is sufficient, you need to change your stand? Forget about whatever else. You can't fight the market. You need to be with the trend. You need to be with the markets, right? That is what I am talking about. You need to be with the trend. And that's the problem. Many traders try to find out blaming game into others. Please take responsibility of your own action. This is your money. You are trading it. You are responsible for it, not other people whom you are listening to or who is giving you whatever XYZ kind of advisory. You will listen people giving you 100% accuracy. I've told you not to fall in trap of that. That's absolutely impossible that you can get 100%. You don't know what will happen to you tomorrow. How do you know that 100% surety the markets are going to go up? There is no such surety. There is always an element of risk, and Elliott wave helps us to understand what is the probability on where we are headed. As simple as that. And time cycle helps me to understand when do I change my stand from being bearish to bullish. And that's how I do it. I do it with a fraction of a second. And if the cycle changes, I change my stand. That's how I think it should work for majority, because if you keep holding and marrying a stock for lifetime, I think it's only going to give you troubles. A lot of us are already facing a lot of issues. So don't marry a stock and keep it for lifetime. You need to change the stand. You need to dump it if it is not working for you, right? That's a liberty you have. So that's a luxury you have. Why don't you exercise that luxury and become compulsive to that? That's what my question is. Don't become compulsive to a stock. At least enjoy the luxury of dumping it without any pain. So that should be the scenario that I really love about trading, right? Fantastic. So before, I think Manish is really enjoyed. He's saying that's a great example, Manish. I'm sure you are facing a lot of issues with uh, being committed at times. I'm so sorry. I'm just kidding, but yes, enjoy the luxury, I would say. So for example, currently we all are locked down, right? So what I'm seeing that people who have been locked down at home, and scenario in Mumbai is horrible. That's what I can make out sitting here in Lonala at Cloud9 Hills Resort. I'm just trying to make out the scenario way back there is horrible. And and people want to go out, whereas the people who are out, they want to go back home. Now that's a contra, that's an irony of life, right? We are in and we want to get out, and who is out, we wants to get in into their home because that's the lovely place they want to be. And imagine you are in that lovely place right now, but you are not enjoying it. You want to get out, you want to go to work, you want to go to office. That's the irony, right? Ajay, I'll call you to the resort soon as we are opening, we are functioning, we are back on the track. But I have my doubts. I don't know when will that happen. So we will do that. Uh, let's just move on further. Let me, before I proceed and bias each one of you with my view of Nifty, I'm going to open a poll again. Now, this is a classic poll that we want to look at what's and how the markets are in the coming week. I am sure I have the answer in my mind. What's the overall statistics is going to come out. I'm not going to be revealing that what I think, but I'm going to launch a poll. I want everyone to participate, and we will know what everyone thinks about. One very interesting aspect I'll share post we launch a poll. So here is the poll, and here I want you to tell me Nifty trend in coming week. Is it up or is it down? Here the polling starts. Here the polling starts. So that's fantastic. Let's see how it goes. And this is real fun, right? This is amazing that we are going to see now how it's going to go, whether it's going to go up or down. I have my statistics in mind, and I am going to write down here on the chat what do I think will happen, and let's see whether that's going to work out the way I am seeing it. Maybe this is what I am seeing around. That's the percentage I see. We should get the answers. Let's just see. Let's just see. Just give me a sec. I'm just trying to figure out. So let me check what's on the poll. Okay, that's fantastic. That's the answer I had in mind. 65% to 75% will be up and 35% will be down. So we have the poll results. Still a few are yet to vote. Still a few are yet to vote. And we are looking at the polling right now. Few are still voting, and yes, we are 65%. We are 65%, guys. We are 65% up and 34%, 66% up and 34% down. We are still having few more votes pending. If you can vote, then that would be fantastic. Please do that. 66% up and 34% down. That's bang on, right? I have mentioned about all 65 to 70% is what the up I am expecting, and 35% down. So we are 66 and 34. That's fantastic. That's amazing that we are seeing right now. Let me end the poll. Let me end that. So we are bullish for in the coming week, and that is interesting. Let me share across the results as well with you all. So that's the results in front of you. Can you see that? Can you see that? Let me just save that result so that I can share it across with every one of you later on. Okay, I will do that, and let me stop the polling. That's very interesting. And that's like a bang on right now. 65 to 70% I expected people will be up, and that is what we are seeing right now. A very interesting aspect again. Now, this is what I'm talking about is not to about, but to make you understand. Crowd psychology is very important in trading. You need to understand what is happening around with people. If last Friday we did a poll, we had 50% again on a Friday. On a Saturday, we did it with 500 people. We have precise 50. Can you beat that? 244 to 243, something like that. Just one vote difference, and 50-50 to the point. So that is very interesting. Yes, Rahul, I will talk about the 80% discount to spot. We will see that. So that is very interesting. What is also very interesting aspect is that I did a contest. We run a contest every Wednesday and Thursday on the expiry. Let me share that contest result with you on the website wavestrategy.com. Let me just share that across with you. And if you can see my screen, let me just share across. Just give me 1 second and you will be able to see my screen as well. And now that is again a very interesting. So if you go to Traders Forum, you can post, by the way, post your questions, doubts, anything and everything on these Traders Forum. I will respond. A lot of people keep posting their charts, and it's simply fantastic. So this was the contest that we run, and there were around 66 or 65 participants who gave the levels of the contest. and these levels were mentioned here. Where do we think Nifty will close on a Thursday? Can any one of you who did not go through the average, can you tell me where do you think will be the average of this poll or a contest that we run? Where do you think the average will come of Nifty? If you are to guess, where will Nifty close on the expiry day? I'm again repeating my question. Where do you think is the average of, based on this poll, where do you think the average came to be? Where do you think? 9350, bang on, guys. 9350, Kirtan, Naveen, Prashant, Digvijay. You guys are simply fabulous. 9350. Do you remember 9350, the magnet that we have talked about? If you don't trust me, go to this page on Nifty Traders Forum, and there are 65. Remove the levels which are like the range they have given, not a specific level, but the range that they gave. Remove those out. Remove the extreme. Someone gave 9800 as well, guys. 9800 were extremely optimistic. In one day you were expecting like what, 600 points up move in a day's time. That was way too outlier, so I removed that. And someone gave 4960. I'm assuming that was a miscalculation or mis typo error. 4960 can't be possible in one day, so that was a typo error. Remove that and take the average. You will get precise 9350. That's the level you will get. The magnet. If you are following me on Twitter, I'm so sure 9350 I talked about so many times. If you follow me, so let me share across. I'm not sure if you can see my Twitter screen. If you follow me on Twitter, this is at the rate Kyala Ashish. You will see I have talked about the magnet 9350. I don't know how do we search that. I should have actually hashtag magnet 9350 to make it trending, I suppose. So that would have helped in a much better way. So I will also like to talk about one chart. So if you are seeing my screen, let me just check if you are able to see my screen and if you are able to see my Twitter. Okay. So I have just recently talked about a very important aspect on uh, 9350 and also one very important chart. So I think, okay, let me go on the website and share that across with you. That's much faster. So if you go to a free article or you go to the homepage of the website, and if you go and scroll down, you will see a section of stocks articles which are, I it's a free research, right? Please understand, I do not disclose everything in a free research, and this is always after the move has happened. That does not mean I am always publishing after it has happened, because before the move happened it is published to the client. So please appreciate that. And if you go and see this chart, are you able to see my chart right now? Can you say yes if you are able to see the screen and the research article that I am showing right now? Are you? Yes, fantastic. So if you see this chart, and this chart is the reason why I turned super bullish at 9100 level at this point. Can you see my mouse pointer at 9110? I turned super bullish on the market based on the cycle. The arrows that you are seeing are the basis of the power of time cycles that you can make out. So these arrows are the power of the time cycles that you are seeing on the chart. I'm making it very simple. Everything is cycle, everything is cyclical, I would rather say. Okay, you want me to zoom in, but I have my doubts if I'm able to zoom this chart. Let me just try and check if I can. Are you able to see that? The best way is you can go to wavestrategy.com, go to the home page, there is a chart down, click on that, you are taken to this chart. Are you able to see now? Are you able to see this chart? Now the problem, I'm going to share across my practical problem I face. There are people who always criticize, right? There are people who say, why you are posting this chart after the move has happened? Tell me, does it make sense for me to post it before the move has happened, or rather keep it for my clients? Because I'm not running a free show here, right? We are doing it because there is a business I have to take care of, and at the same time, I want awareness to be there about these things, because this is what I'm very passionate about, and I want to spread awareness about it. And people are still criticizing about, so I don't know what they want to actually do in life, but this works brilliantly, right? Look at this chart. Every 80 to 83 hours, Nifty is changing the trend. That is a very, very interesting time cycle, right? At this point, there was a low. Can you see wave E, where I marked E on the upside? Can you see the sharp rise from there? And can you see the steepness of rise? Are you able to see the steepness of rise? Guys, this was published again on 27th. Today is 29th. Even if you criticize, you still look at it from the day I published this chart. Nifty was 9314. You would have seen it is now at 9600 levels. 2 days back, I posted this chart for the target. You can see as 9683 on the upside. And if you are not able to understand that, what will you understand? So the cycles work, and that is why I said the first thing I started my webinar today. I said it is the cycles that are working brilliantly on the markets. It is not news, it is not events. You have the words of the news that can be out, and you can clearly see some headlines will change tomorrow in expectation of a better tomorrow. I don't know how the news will justify 2 days of up move. If anyone is tracking news, I don't track news, by the way. If anyone is doing that, you might know the headlines, how they are changing the news based on the market movement. If it would have been on the downside, they would have talked about all everywhere locusts, COVID, China standoff, lot of those things, cyclone. But now, since the markets are up, despite of all the news, they will talk something else. So that is the thing that I wanted to share across. It's very important. You need to look at the markets and not the news. That because the news will change. How did I find out the target? Okay, that's an interesting question. Let me answer that as well. I found the target. I normally see a double corrective pattern results into a retracement on the upside to the extent of 76.4%. Many of you are who have done mentorship with me. I'm sure you people are aware about that 76.4% retracement level that we have discussed so many times during the mentorship program. Or anyone who has been knowing me for quite some time, that 76.4% FIBO retracement I have been talking about for many, many years now. And normally I have seen that works fabulous. So we are now at 9600 levels already. I'm going to keep a close watch. The problem is, yes, Nilesh, yes, right. You understand, right? 76.4 from the mentorship that we did. And by the way, we have the next mentorship starting in June 2020. That's going to be fabulous. So you can probably register for that if you have not already done so, because these things that I am discussing right now, I am going to discuss that very much detail in that 3 months of program. And that 3 months is a huge learning. And I'm sure many people who are from the mentorship batch are in this webinar right now, and they will be more than happy to share across their insights and how they found about the entire program, entire curriculum. Trust me, Nifty trading is not only RSI above 60 go and buy and below 40 short. No, it is about timing the market. If you are not able to time the market, you are probably not going to make money. That is very sure in this scenario. The market scenario changes so fast. If you are not able to time it with precision, you are simply going to miss it. For example, you just took a quick nap of 2 hours 2 days back when Nifty was somewhere around the zone of 9300. After that, when you got up, you were simply mind boggled to see Nifty at around 9400, 9500, and up and away. And then if you think, let me enter now, you just not sure. Same thing with Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty rallied by 1500 points on a Tuesday. That's a huge up move. If you are staying bearish and you don't change your stand with a stop loss, you are going to be out. So why there is discount on Nifty and Bank Nifty? Are you seeing that? There's a huge discount, 60, 70, 80 points of discount that we are seeing on the markets. Now that's something which does not happen very often. It can be looked at two perspectives. So there are two sides of the same coin. The first side, if you are bearish, now listen me very carefully. If you are bearish, you will look at it that the markets are in discount, there is short buildup going on, and the market should come down. If you are bullish, you will look at there is buying happening in the cash positions, and there is buying happening and the stocks are moving up, and the discount should eventually reduce, which will result into a much higher move on the futures prices. So that's how you can look at it, probably on the both sides. So I don't see it as a very significant development unless and until we are in a very strong downtrend and we are continuing to see discount month after month. Now that's something very interesting. Then from that discount, if I start seeing premium happening, that is going to be a very interesting observation. Okay. Now what we are seeing is we were in the downtrend. Now we have started seeing an up move. So there are shorts in the system who might still not have covered the short positions or have rolled over short positions for this expiry and are hoping that the markets will come down by at least 100 or 200 points so that they can get out at least with some minimal loss. Again, I am repeating, people who are short in the last month are rolling over now, trying to wait for markets to at least come down by 100 points so that they can minimize their loss and get out. And the markets are simply skyrocketing without even giving a second thought, and the players who are there are simply not sure what to do. So that is the reason I think that many stocks, many indices, Nifty, Bank Nifty are trading at discount. I think the reaction time, I see it as a reaction time to the market movement was very less. Because the reaction time to the market movement was less, there are still short positions in the market. And if you look at the polling today, we still have 65 to 66% up, despite of 500, 600 points of move. People 35% are still bearish. So that's what I am saying. The trend in coming week for me is positive because I am a trend following guy. Unless the support level breaks, I will not turn bearish. And based on this method, we generated buy calls on Nifty, we generated buy on something like Max Financial, because financials, NBFCs are the stocks that should outperform if the banking starts outperforming. And it was up by like 5% in 1 day of time. We have generated buy even on an auto stock in momentum. Let's see how it goes. It has still not gone drastically in favor, but I'm optimistic because post the low that was formed in 7500 levels, auto and metal has started outperforming. So the stocks that you have to pick up has to be from auto and the metal space. That is what I think. Are you with me? I'm going to talk something very interesting from options perspective. But before I do that, I want to understand one thing from you. I'm launching a poll. Are you an options trader? I want to know, are you an options trader? You can type in a yes or a no, because I want to share across my insight on options. If there are many options traders in this uh, forum, or if people would like to know, I can share across my insight. So not necessarily you have to be an option trader, but if you are, then I will share across something. Partial option trader, right? Thanks, Kirtan, for the acknowledgement. Yeah. Okay. I see that option trader. So let me just end the 70%. So a lot of people are in options trading. Now in options trading, most of them, most are on options writing side, that too on the expiry day. Now that is like standing in front of a running train, because you don't know on the expiry day how fast it can go. And that's what we saw this time. It went so sharply higher on the upside that if you're an option seller on the expiry day, chances of you being burnt out on 1 day is high. When you burnt out on 1 day, that will take away n number of profits. Now that's the problem. But if you can manage your risk well, then that is no problem. If you can manage your risk with the stop loss, then there should be no problem. The the issue happened on the option side had been in the past 2 weeks, not this week. In the past 2 weeks, the option values continue to deteriorate because VIX index came down from the levels of 70, 75 to the lows of around 30 now. I think it's somewhere around 27 or 28. So the VIX value continued to deteriorate and Nifty stay traded in a very specific range. Based on that understanding, you subconsciously will avoid buying option and will start shorting option. And the moment you start shorting option, expecting the range to continue, Nifty gave a breakout. So that's a dilemma that an option trader faces if you do not time your trade very, very well. Are you with me? Do you understand what I just now said? You need to time the trade if you're an option trader. If you cannot time the trade, you shouldn't be trading options because you are on the right side. If I have to ask you, for how many of you were just on the right side, exactly on the edge, you just got out, and the next day trend started? Tell me honestly, you were on the right side. To be very honest, it happens with me as well, right? I am on the right side just when I should have been holding on for one more day, and I got out because I couldn't take the deterioration in my option price anymore. The trend started. That's like very insane, right? You knew there is no stop loss being triggered, but the option value is getting deteriorated. There is nothing you can do about it. You find yourself so helpless, but to not lose any more capital, and you be out, and the next day trend start. To take care of that, I am dwelling a lot into cycles nowadays, and that has helped me fabulous. So if you would like to learn about the time cycles, trust me, the best way, and about neo wave pattern that I showed you on the chart, the best way is to register for the mentorship starting in June 2020. We are starting on 20th of June. We have already started sharing across the video links and a lot of those things. uh, we should have Indrajit. Yes, you are there in the mentorship. Yes, we should have it in Lonala at my resort. I'll be more than happy to get you, all of you here, and discuss what we are discussing remotely. Because when you discuss in person, the energy that you exchange is simply fabulous, right? So that's the thing, but you can't really do anything about it. We have to live with a current scenario, and you would not believe that I've been really enjoying it, talking to you, each one of you, every Friday, because the response that we get is simply fabulous. So let me now show you on the chart. Let me now share across something very quickly. Amit, no, it is not sell in May and go away. The sell in May and go away was applicable before 25th of May, and we did see the fall. We went from 9,800 levels to 8,800 levels. So now the scenario has changed. We are in wave B. So let me share across on my chart. Let me share across with you. Where is my screen gone? Okay, if you can see my chart, are you able to see my chart here? The trend for pharma is definitely up. Why you will come against the trend unless the support breaks? If you look at this chart, right, I turned extremely bullish at this point. Extremely bullish. Trust me on that. I never will be that bullish again where I turned extremely bullish here, because despite, so there is sentiment analysis, despite of so many negative news out, Nifty did not even bother to break the low that it formed around 8,800. It did not even bother to break that low, and that was a very classic indication for me. Okay, now over here, that was a classic breakdown. Okay, head, shoulder, shoulder, a super breakdown, retest of the neckline, and it should have ideally gone down before 25th of May because the cycles were turning then, but it did not. And then there was a reversal. So if you remember, a failed pattern, again I have discussed this very much in depth in my mentorship batch, a failed pattern results into a violent move on the opposite side because there are short squeeze happening and fresh long buildups. A failed, Nirav, absolutely, Nirav Patel, you are bang on. That's a failure head and shoulder pattern. And that's why a failed pattern will result into an opposite move in a sharp way. And that is what we saw. So short squeeze followed by an opposing move on the upside. My suggestion in the coming week is, my view, do not come against this uptrend right now, because we are not sure where it's going to stop. We are not sure where it's going to stop. So, okay, Amit has a point. We are in a bear market, which is validated. It is never happened in history of markets to have near V-shaped recovery. Should probably commence at 9680 with the interim data available. No, I am going to rectify your statement comprehensively. We are in a bear market with wave A complete at the lows of 7500. We are in wave B on the upside right now, and we are yet to wait to see how much this wave B will continue on the upside. So if I have to take the retracement of this up move, 50% comes to around 9870 from where we reversed. 61.8 comes to around 10400. Am I suggesting that it's going to go there? No. I am suggesting that we are in wave B. Post wave B completion, the down move on C should start. The down move in the form of wave C should start. So I still look at this rally as a bear market rally. Are you with me? So we are still in a bear market rally, but these bear market rallies can be sharp and fast. Nasdaq at lifetime high, Dow Jones inching towards 61.8%, Nifty still away from 50%. We are in a bear market rally. I am not going to short at 9680. I am long. I am probably riding my trend, following a trailing stop method based on volatility based techniques. So I'm not shorting there, but yes, if it goes here and we see a reversal pattern being formed, then I will conclude that we are completing B and C will then start on the downside. Are you with me? Is that clear? It's a bear market rally, and bear market rallies can be absolutely fast, absolutely Sunil. You are bang on. It's a bear market fast rally. You are seeing that, and that's very, very prominent right now. But do not come against it, right? It can go equally fast up. You need to ride that trend on the upside, not go against it. Try to think, there have been stocks which have not even moved right now, and the markets are up so to such an extent in 3 days of time. So where do you think it is headed from here on? So don't come against this running up move. Rather try to get in the trend using certain method like Ichimoku cloud or things like that, right? So that's very, very important. So the B is ongoing, probably in the form of diametric, and we will start seeing uh, anxiety building in once it is near the topping phase. But there is no anxiety right now. I see a smooth rise as of now. There is no anxiety buildup right now. It's the anxiety among the shorts which is going to be creeping in with each passing day. That is what I am saying. So don't come against this up move. Okay, that's very, very important. And I think that the best part that you can find about these bear markets are the moves are very fast on most of the occasions. So if you are able to change your stand with a fraction of a second, you will be able to be in the right side of the trend. But you need to have some objective way why you change the stand. Not just because you thought it should be positive, you change the stand. There has to be an objective way why you change the stand. And if you do not have that objective way, trust me, you will never make money in the market if you just trade based on the gut feeling. Okay, I'm also going to share across one very important aspect. Before I move on, let me share across anyone who wants to learn about the mentorship. You can probably go on the website wavestrategy.com, and there is a mentorship box there. You can go and find out information or contact us on 99204 222 for more info. Okay. Now let me run again. RSI showing negative divergence. No, I don't see that, Gaurav. I'm not sure how you are finding out. Please share across your chart on the traders forum, and we will be seeing those chart, and I'll respond to that if there is a divergence based on what you are sharing across. So before I move on, I want to share across one very interesting aspect. Tomorrow I am having a free webinar again. A lot of people were not able to attend that free webinar on Elliott Wave, which I conducted last Saturday. And I want to know if you would like to attend that webinar, a 2 hours free webinar on how to trade using Elliott Wave. You can probably register here. You can see the link if you can see the poll, wavestrategy.com/webinar, and you will be able to register there. So let me just share across on the chat as well. So wavestrategy.com/webinar, and if you say your consent as yes, we will try to send across an invite to you for that event tomorrow 11 a.m. onwards to 1 p.m. So here is the link, so you can probably register there. Go on that link and register there. Our website went down last time because of so many registrations, and the room was already full. So in case you face difficulty registering, you can probably get in touch with us. Or the best part also, I keep sharing this across on my Telegram group. So if you want to probably know what I am going to be doing soon, my media interviews, my research articles, lot of those things. I keep sharing it across on the Telegram group. So you do like the Telegram group. AK Trading Gurukul is the Telegram group that you can find, or Elliott Wave Studies. So there are two Telegram groups, two Telegram channels, I would say. So you can use that. So that's how the entire outlook is. So let's have some Q&A. There are a few questions being asked. So if you have done with the polling, I'll stop that polling. I get a lot of people want to register. I'll still keep it on. Whoever is saying yes, we will send an invite and invite you for tomorrow. But ensure you are on time 15 minutes prior, because we go full. So you'll not believe, we we thought that we might not have that much of a response, but we went full like crazy. And so many people who were disconnected wanted to re-enter, they were not able to enter. So I thought, let me do it again for this Saturday on how to trade using Elliott wave patterns. So there it is. Which one is the other Telegram? AK Trading Gurukul is what I would say. Samir, you can probably make a note. AK Trading Gurukul, that's the Telegram name. You can join that Telegram. It starts at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning and for 2 hours. Okay, let me now take a few questions if you have. If possible, please give your view on pharma. Uh, Moto G Plus, that's your name. Moto G Plus, that's very interesting. The pharma is up. Okay, Ankush is hello to you as well. Which time cycle theory do you read? I use Hus time cycle, Razik. I'll not be able to disclose much in detail what I expect when the next cycle low is formed and all of those things. So I'll not be able to do that. Mm, At 9850, no, Amol. At 9850, I don't see wave B ended because we did not see a very sharp correction in C, which should have happened that way. Uh, Okay, how do you determine cycles? BM, it's again a lot of study for determining cycles. I can't disclose it. Sorry, I can't explain it here. It requires a lot of time. So maybe in my Master of Waves program, I'll talk about it. Tomorrow, I'll talk a few things about cycles if time permits. If time permits, I can't commit you anything. Big senior analysis part, yes. So we do publish a lot of research reports, guys. If you want to get access to that research report, I forgot to share across. I should have shared across that research report. If you give me a second, I'll show you my research report where I turned bullish exactly at that point of time. And I also want to share across that why I turned bullish. So if you can just give me 1 second, I will share across that and you can get access to these research reports. It's simply fabulous. So if you go to, just give me 1 second. And okay, so I'll just share across that research how I look at it and what I'm seeing. uh, 1 second, and let me share that across. So this is a research which is sent across to the clients every day morning. I'm ending the poll here right now, and you can clearly see I mentioned about the levels, where do I think markets are headed, the targets, everything and anything over there. And we talked about the magnet of 9350 over here. If you can see my report, we did talk about that level, and Nifty has moved fabulous. So I talked about the first target is near 9560. Now imagine, even if you would have read this at 9300, I talked about 9560, which was at this level around this zone, which was 61.8. Can you see that in that, which coincides with the upper daily Bollinger Bands and the gap area? So that's the first area, and we are already there. So that is what I was looking at. So I've talked about in much detail. So you can get access to that research report. Only by 9 a.m. Rajnish. I'm so sorry for that, but can't help it. I can't publish it in the morning at 7 because there are a lot of studies, research that goes into it. You still have 15, 20, 25 minutes, and then the system has to send across to lot and lot of subscribers we have. So it takes time for the delivery through the system. At times it goes to promotional box, and that's a trouble that we all face, right? So you can't really do and live with that technology. You'll not believe, I'm still living in the area which is so close from Mumbai at my resort, and there are problems of electricity. Half of the time there is no electricity. We have to live on generators. If that is the technology if India in right now we are living. So I don't want to creep about anything. I'm always an optimistic guy. So look at it in the fair way that you can. Uh, we will see. We send it across by 8:45. I'll try and see what is possible, Arvind, for sure. Okay, that's the report that I talked about right now, and I'll just take a check if I have to answer anything. Okay, so option dropping when the wicks is high. Yes, when with the up move, the wicks will come down, right? 12.8 days. Yes, you can convert that, Ganesh, based on the cycles that you're looking at. How to identify trend reversing. What is your view on the banking sector? I think banking was underperforming, should start outperforming. So the banking can outperform. There will be more short squeeze if the up move continues from here on the banking. Uh, Different reports, Anjan. The first one is equity report, which has Nifty and three different stocks. So if you want to get Nifty and stock views, the financial wave short-term update. Since you asked, I'll just share that across as well on the website again. So you can go here and services or pricing plans. If you go to pricing plans, you'll see various research. So equity research report will be the equity stocks, and that then there is a monthly research which has a global view, outlook on currency, outlook on gold, silver, outlook on crude, outlook on Nifty, Bank Nifty, and stock pick. Then there is Nifty, which has only Nifty, which is a daily report. Multi-bagger, we think which stocks will outperform over the period of time. Momentum stocks, if you want to make say 8 to 10% in a quick time, but yes, with a stop loss. I am always saying I'm never going to be 100%. I'm saying with a stop loss, if you can live with the risk, then you can go for momentum stocks. So, and for commodity, we have commodity research, currency, and various these things. So you can probably make use of those. I don't want to be promotional here. I just shared across because someone asked. Okay, fantastic. Then, guys, I'm excited to talk to each one of you tomorrow. If you have not registered for tomorrow webinar, you can do that at wavestrategy.com/webinar and register there. And for any other details and the mentorship, which is going to start in June 2020, here is the opportunity. We are almost full. So here is the opportunity. We will take only a few more registrations now, and you have to do that quickly. So you can do that. And for that, you can contact 9920422202. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay in. And this is Ashish Kyal signing off from Ashish Kyal Trading Gurukul. And I hope this webinar helped you to understand the overall context of the market, the wave pattern that we are in wave G of a diametric probably, and we are in uptrend. Use dips as a buying opportunity unless the support level breaks in the coming week. Do not try to short the market for the coming week. Thank you very much.